Sounds like nonsense.
Nonsense.
Sounds like nonsense.
Now that sounds like
That
nonsense.
sounds like nonsense.
Sounds like nonsense.
You know what
to
that
me.
sounds like?
Sounds like nonsense.
That sounds like
Sounds like
nonsense.
nonsense.
Sounds like
Is this what it's
nonsense.
gonna sound like?
Sounds like nonsense.
Sounds like nonsense.
no.
Sounds like nonsense.
It's nonsensical.
And it sounds like this.
Hey everyone, this is Jeff on behalf of Will, Courtney, and Jeb from Sounds Like Nonsense, and just wanted to take a moment to talk about this episode that we recorded. When we recorded it, it was last Sunday, the first weekend of the nationwide riots, and we get into it talking about what's going on. The purpose of the show for us is talking about new music and laughing and just sharing it with people and hopefully turning you on to something new. But we just felt it was the right thing to at least discuss it. And we also understand that there's more than just our views on it. You have your views, your friends and family. So we appreciate you letting us share. We will try to keep it more on the lighter side. But when serious things come up, we hope that you will allow us to continue to share where we're at. And please feel free. We would love to engage in conversation, not going back and forth with hatred, but if we can learn from each other, really that's what it's all about. So thanks again. We've really enjoyed the last few weeks putting some new music out there for you, and we're hoping you enjoy it. Please continue to listen, and thanks again. Hey everybody.
Yo.
Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday. Good morning.
What's going on?
Sunday.
Afternoon out here, folks.
And also afternoon out here. So
Yeah. We're around 12:30 today.
Episode 5.
That's right. We are Sounds Like Nonsense podcast, everybody. I'm Jeb, your host. On the number twos, we got Mr. Will Ridge.
Hello, everybody.
Sitting right next to me is my beautiful wife, Courtney.
Hello.
And out in Raleigh, we got Jeff.
Beautiful in a different way.
Oh, you're definitely gorgeous. Each week, what we're going to do is we're going to feature music and stories from artists you've probably never heard of, but hopefully we're going to find our new favorite bands together. I'm going to say new music rules. I'm going to cut it down from last week and just go with that. So really excited to share some of the bands that we have this week with you guys. I want to talk about them, but I'm going to let Courtney go ahead and do it.
Sure. So the first band is Slow Children, and they are a melodic hardcore punk band from Corona, California that started in 2004. It's actually been a while since they've created anything new with this specific band, but for many of you, this will be a new band for you, so I definitely recommend checking them out.
They have 2 albums out.
Yes.
I would go and get them. They're on Spotify.
They're one of our favorites. And then Last Point is a 3-piece punk band from the central coast of California with circle pit drum beats, fast melodic riffs, and a aggressive lyrical standing. Last Point embodies 90 style punk. Their music video for Redeemer, their song Redeemer, is out on YouTube now. And then you can also see each of the band members in the NoFX music video, I Love You More Than I Hate Me. I think that's the
yeah, you got it. You got it. Yeah.
And then the you want to talk about Hit the Switch?
Well, yeah, and then we have our guest this week is Hit the Switch. It's AJ Condasta. He's been in a bunch of bands. I've known him for a while now. Not super well, but hopefully we get to know him a little bit better together. And we're going to play Hit the Switch's song North Star. It's off of their latest album. And it's really, really good. Everyone's going to be stoked on that. We got nothing but good music this week.
yeah, I agree. I like it very
Well,
much.
not like we have bad
I know.
music.
I was just going to say, we always have good music.
Yeah, but I'm especially excited about
Yes.
today, I
Okay.
guess. So, slow news week.
Oh my gosh.
So for those of you that don't know, we record this every Sunday and you get it the following Sunday. So I'm sure by the time you hear this, a lot more crazy things will have happened.
Yeah,
I can't
it's old
imagine
news.
it's going to calm down at all. I'm referring to all the riots and all the injustice and everything else that's happened. And I know that we could probably spend the whole entire podcast
I
talking
agree.
about this, but I think, in my opinion, and you guys can definitely weigh in, I think that we should keep it kind of short and concise. Let's hit the bullet points of what we saw this week.
That'll be easy to do.
It's just going to be, we can go on and on and on, but by the time people hear this, it's going to be old news, probably. So
This is a real coin toss, but I think I need to address one thing first.
yes.
Also in news for the week, but because the next subject is a little bit serious, I don't know if this goes before or after, so I'm jumping before.
Do it.
But I addressed the funk in my garage.
Oh.
What?
It was so bad.
What are you talking
So
about?
bad.
Did you
that
talk
there
about
was
this last week? I don't remember.
No.
No,
Oh.
this is breaking news as
Oh.
of yesterday.
Oh.
Shocking.
Breaking news.
Disturbing. I would say on Tuesday, I noticed a very bad smell coming from my garage when I was going through my garage to my car. I'm a garage door guy.
This is good.
I go outside through the garage door into my car as opposed to using the front door.
Yep.
But wham! Smacked in the face with the horrible smell. I'm like, ugh. I'm going to ignore this immediately. On Wednesday, it was no longer ignorable. So I'm scratching my brain. I'm like, what has happened in here?
Scratching your brain.
It really smells.
Dead body.
It was, it kind of had I looked at my lawnmower and there was some mold. I left cut grass in there and it was starting to mold.
Oh, that was it?
Oh. Well, that's what I thought. Hang on.
Okay.
So I take it out and it's funky. Yeah.
Poor
I'd
squirrel.
like to add on. I take it out to the side of the house, dump it out, boom, 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 boom. On Wednesday night, it's still there, but it's getting a little muggy. So I figure it's the humidity. Thursday, it's still there. Friday, it's still there. I'm like, I have ruined my house. It's even kind of starting to seep inside that part of the kitchen.
Fuck.
Good God.
On Saturday, I go to the grocery store, and when I'm coming back, I'm sure everyone's addressed the Corona food situation differently, but I was just stocking up on chicken, drumsticks specifically.
Sure.
The week before, I'd got a fresh pack of, I want to say 12 to 14. I left them on top of the freezer.
I've done that before.
Oh, my God.
So bad. It's out. It's now in my trash receptacle that won't be picked up till Friday, but it stinks to high hell.
Now, question: Are you gonna now still eat chicken? Can you eat chicken drums?
Yeah, why just drumsticks? Why just drumsticks? That's all I want to know.
It's his favorite.
Easy to grill. It's that's my meal prep for the week. I just grill it on Sunday. I eat 3 of them at lunch. That's it.
But after knowing what you looked at and smelled and know what's growing on that, you could still go, nope, I'm gonna put this cooked drumstick to my mouth.
Oh, I'm gonna lather it up with, and I'm glad you asked about my sauces.
Okay.
I go teriyaki, Frank's. I've been known to use too much Frank's, but I've scaled that back.
I've been there too.
And then I've got a Heinz zesty sauce. Oh, give it a shot.
Okay, I'll take a look.
Put it down your pants.
A little shout out to Heinz. Hey, let's talk about chunk ham, Courtney.
So I did the same thing one time with a ham, but it stayed in the trunk. It stayed in the trunk of my car. And I didn't realize it because my car's so dirty that I just thought it was one of the bags that always stays in there.
That
Do you know what I'm saying?
Never
when you
went
say
away.
stayed in the back of your car, how long did it stay?
It stayed a week, and I could not find the smell until I cleaned out all my grocery bags that I always take to the store.
Her car is a fucking nightmare.
Not anymore. I don't have a car.
That's right.
But
you got your privileges taken away.
That solves the problem.
So, anyways, so I definitely understand and can commiserate in that.
Okay, well.
Happy to report on Sunday. Okay. It's starting to air out.
Nice. Perfect.
That's good. Yeah, we came home to a stinky house too. Riley was just sitting in there. I opened the door and there was something in the garbage that was I couldn't believe it. I was like, "How are you just sitting in here, smelling this shit?" Like,
because
he's a teenager. He's like, "I'd rather sit here and smell death than to walk down the steps." Yeah. Anyway, let's talk about some serious stuff. Yeah, Courtney, do you want to kick this off? I know you've been really wanting to talk about overnight. You're watching the news and just even Facebook, just going through that and seeing all the things that are happening. It's just kind of unbelievable how things have ramped up so far to where they are now. But let's go ahead and try to get through some of the stuff that's happened here.
So I just, gosh, it's so hard to say it in a succinct way, but this is definitely eye-opening for a lot of people. Of all races and stuff, but for me as a white woman, I am opening my eyes to the privileges that I do have, and so it's just makes me feel pretty terrible, to be honest, about what's happening, but not for me. I'm so embarrassed of myself and that I've let it go in my own life. So what I am doing is I am following leaders and teachers And so I will provide the information on that. But there are 3 specific women that I am following, and they are amazing. Maisha T. Hill at Check Your Privilege, Letty Shumati at sincerely.letty, and Wheeze Dorian, according to Wheeze. And so they have podcasts. I will link all the information, but it's just something that I no longer want to be silent to, because I feel like that is a form of racism. So I don't want to do that anymore.
That's right. And there are a bunch of protests out there right now that you can go and join peacefully. You know, I know that Santa Barbara is having one today. As we speak, they should be, and here in just a little bit, they'll be getting out there.
Jeff, you had a question of the week, and I want to know if it's appropriate if you would tell us now, or did you want to wait a little bit later on that
Well, I
one?
mean, I think that by the point everyone hears this, they're going to know all the things that we've seen. I mean, we've seen the bad cops running people over in New York with their cars.
Yeah.
We've seen the pile of bricks that they've set up to entice people to throw. We've seen the cop breaking the windows out of the store. Now we've seen, the white supremacists that are starting the fires and stuff just to be able to have some kind of, like, look at them, now we can go after them kind of shit.
And we've also seen a lot of people,
Trying to incite the violence.
inciting the violence, but also just, like, posting silly things to try. I don't know, but it's
Shit's
just
not funny right now.
It's not funny.
It's not funny. Everyone needs to have a little bit of accountability.
And also put yourself in their shoes. This goes back to what I was talking about before. It's like, really put yourself in the shoes of the people who are rioting right now. They're rioting because they have tried all of the other methods to get your attention. And if it were, the Tea Party, the Boston Tea Party, I've seen things where it's like, that's where
I always come from a point of anarchism in the punk rock stuff. So I'm like, I love it, dude. Seeing the police department burning, I'm like, yes, finally, like, hey, pay attention, dude. Like, shit is not okay. Watching those videos turns your stomach. It's unbelievable. The guy jogging who got shot by those guys, and
not okay.
All this last one is just.
Well, the question you have was, if I had a business and it was looted and destroyed, would I still support the rioting or the? But I want to let you know. Here's my question. Or here's what I think. This is my opinion, and that's interesting what you're saying. I think rioting and looting are different than protesting. Now, you did have a good point with saying we're not hearing it. That's why it escalates into throwing shit into things and burning and robbing. All right, but I feel like riot and looting is completely different. If my business got attacked and destroyed and burnt down, I do not condone that. I would support the protesting aspect of it. I would be bummed out, that my business got burned, but that doesn't mean that I'm not going to start not advocating for the protesting part.
I understand that, and I think
rioting. I think there could be a different way. Rioting just brings anger and hatred, and then it just gives a reason to all of a sudden attack.
I think that the protesting wasn't working. Peaceful protest isn't working, and there's no handbook on what protesting should look like or what rioting should look like. And I own a business. I have kind of a office storefront, if you will, and I would be highly upset if my stuff got broken, because I agree with the movement, but that being said, I'm kind of in the middle on it, because I can see it. You're angry, you want to do something, you want to just show everyone that you're angry. That's why I say, don't do the mom and pop shops. Burn that Target to the fucking ground. Who gives a shit about Target and Walmart?
Well, but
leave the mom and pop shops alone. I think that makes me feel a little bit better.
Here's the other thing, though, is that I've seen the Facebook posts from the business owners in the community who said, we can replace this stuff. What we can't replace is human life. And so that's where it's really frustrating when, I get your point, Will, of like, yes, the rioting and looting, it's not a good thing. But at the same token, what will get our attention? People are dying, and it's not just George Floyd. It is all of the people before him. There's been so many African American men and women who are dying. So this is important, and their life is valuable. It is important. So for people to just be like, oh, nope, property, no. That's insurance. They'll get that covered, all that kind of stuff, but you cannot bring back a human life. And so that's where...
Yeah.
Well, that's looting. Rioting also is fighting, is debating the police, is spitting, getting all back.
Police,
so looting's different than rioting as well.
Most of them are being dicks about it. I mean, I saw, was it Flint the guy said, this is not a protest. Let's make it a parade. I'm with you guys. Our police department isn't like that. We're here for hugs, kind of shit like that. And there are other people around the country that are doing the same thing. And that's what the people are looking for.
Yeah.
Like, hey, those places aren't getting looted and rioted as much. Or I don't know. I don't know my facts completely. So I'm sure everyone by a week from now will be like, that's not what happened. But point is there is a way for everyone to kind of get together. Police need to be aware and acknowledge the pain that's been happening and the injustice, and show the people, hey, we're going to do something about it. That's not us. What do you think, Jeff? You haven't weighed in yet.
Oh, yeah, it's crazy. Super unfortunate. I know some really cool people who also happen to be cops. I don't personally know any police officers who, and I don't know anybody who knows the ones who are acting in a way that is unbecoming of what we would expect from our police officers. So it's tough, but because you see it.
Yeah.
So it doesn't mean that
not
all are good or all are bad.
I know people that are in law enforcement that are good people that are there for the right reason too.
Do you know who hates bad cops more than anyone?
Good cops?
Good cops.
Yeah. Well, they're showing that, if you're allowing your, coworkers to act this way, then you're bad too. You're guilty by association. So I don't know. Let's not dwell too long on this. Like I said, it's worth
just for the
mentioning.
record. It's not that I'm a super cop lover. The violence and everything is horrible against any person, regardless of their race, age, gender, however.
I definitely don't like old people. So let's just
settle down.
I'm getting there, so I'm starting to have a warmer heart to them.
Kidding.
I think the moral of this story is if you are a white person, you need to be researching and listening to, African American and people of color thought leaders there and listening to the other side before you do judgment. It is really important because until you've walked a moment in their shoes, which how can we?
This is not a Democrat and Republican issue.
This is
a human rights issue. This goes across all. Who gives a shit about any of that? It would be nice if our leaders did stand up in a more correct way and a more inspirational way, like someone rational that was
the leaders that we elect. Unfortunately,
that is correct.
That's how we make our change.
And also keep a watch.
Killer Mike had a really good. If you haven't heard
so good.
He came out really strong, and that was great. I feel like it's like, that's a good that's a solid voice.
Mm-hmm. You know what's really curious? Where's Obama?
Super deep.
Oh, he did that.
Did he one? Because I haven't heard it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, good. Because I'm like, where is this guy, man? I was a big Obama fan, and I'm like, I still think that he should be leading in the way that he can. He still can influence people just by putting it out there, voicing his opinion, and I would like to hear it. But okay, so let
me add one last thing.
Okay.
And I would say, depending on where you're at, yes, try to read perspectives from the other side, whether it's, literally reading, watching videos, whatever it may be. But the absolute number one is have a conversation. One of the biggest things for me, so born and raised in California, moved out to North Carolina about 4.5 years ago. And really just, I'm in a totally different culture, and having conversations with people. It's like, I've never known anybody who's actually had to worry about those types of things.
Right. Changes your way of thinking. We're from the South too. So my family is typically on the other side of things for me.
But it's Florida. I mean,
watch your fucking tongue, buddy.
My bad.
Yep. Okay. So, all right. Everyone good? Is that it?
Thanks for letting us share that, people. We, we're just regular folk, and these things are on our hearts. So thanks for letting us share. And if you have thoughts,
Jeff was late
today.
To
be open-minded.
Yeah.
Jeff was late today, and we got really worried. We checked the.
That's bullshit.
We checked the arrest records.
I
almost called the hospital. We need to get some emergency contacts from you, buddy, so I know in the future how to find you.
Yeah, just call me.
We did. You didn't answer the goddamn phone.
I was in the shower because we weren't going to start till 4:00 Eastern.
Okay. So this week, Courtney.
When you called, I had the suds all over my body.
Ugh. All right.
I was thinking of you, though. All three of you.
Hey. Wow. So Courtney got me some artisanal rum this week. something locally handmade, and I thought it'd be Will. You should give it a shot. Like take
Rum?
a shot. Yeah.
Oh my! What's the occasion?
Well, what kind of rum? Talk to us.
This is Distilling Company. Solid rum.
We might have to take that out depending on how much you
Ooh.
like this or not. Let's.
Rested
First sponsor.
Rested on toasted oak cubes.
You're gonna taste those.
All right.
I don't know that they make rum with
You say pubes?
roasted oak
Cubes.
Yeah, cubes.
Pubes. C.
Yeah, let's see.
I thought you'd lace the rum with your pubes.
Well, it might have made it taste better. Yeah.
Oh, Big Will taking it straight from the bottle.
Woo! Those were some pubes.
Yeah.
No, that's
I'm gonna leave that here for my bandmates for when they don't bring their own booze. I'm like,
Yes.
I got some rum in there for you.
That's good.
yeah.
It's
It's
Holy
good.
shit, that is disgusting.
And you chase it with a coffee back.
Oh, that's right. Man, I have something decent in there.
But
Buffalo Trace.
What? So what is that about? What just happened to my mouth? What?
I think you're tasting those
Party, bro.
oak cubes right there.
But what? I mean, are you saying
It tastes like
Everyone's
charcoal.
Invited.
Doesn't it taste like charcoal?
Yeah, it doesn't.
It doesn't taste like rum.
It tasted like a sad person's nightmare. All right, it was not happy, and it's still not happy in me.
Oh, well,
It's like burnt plastic.
what did make you happy though this week?
What?
Courtney's painting.
That did make me happy. I have to admit that. If anybody can see it, it is amazing.
Courtney, let's talk about your painting a little bit. And she has been painting a lot lately.
that's been the one thing through the COVID. I've been supporting local businesses, and one of them is our like a paint studio. That they like once a week or something I go
Will
down.
is still trying to
I
catch
mean,
his breath.
I don't get why you gave it to me. I mean, it was. It's like
just
you.
for your reaction, because
But I mean, you
everyone
could
has
use
the
it to
same-
clean things.
Yeah, well, that they're
Yeah.
also doing
You could
hand
use some
sanitizer
cleaning.
as well.
They're doing hand sanitizer as well.
Yeah.
Of
Well, my
course
mouth is
that's-
fucking clean. I'll tell you that.
They got it mixed up this time. That tastes like
No,
hand
I
it's
sanitizer.
not.
apologize because I really want to talk about your painting, but I just, I gotta say, you're an abusive person. You knew it was gonna burn.
Yeah.
You knew it was gonna be like, this is so shitty.
Yeah.
Give it to the fat guy with the mustache.
No, it's just we've all tasted
We've
it.
all been there.
That's
We've
pretty
all been
rough.
there.
I want to
was-
write it.
The next day, I still could taste it like in my sinus, and I only had a couple sips.
I'm gonna apologize again, and I'm gonna let Courtney do it again. Let's take it from the top.
No.
Well, you were saying no, please. I
Let
love
me
your
just
painting.
chime in as a
And I love
public
it.
service announcement
Okay,
that
Yes.
Will, you should probably put less things in your mouth without asking questions.
That's right.
But I don't want to say completely stop either.
Let me just answer this, or you answer this. Do you know what a glory hole is?
Of course, me and Jeff saw all
Are
of
you
them.
asking me?
Yeah.
Me and Jeff saw so
I used
many
to
on the
give
way to
out
Vegas.
glory holes at our shows.
Oh.
He did.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But go on. What were you gonna say?
So what were you saying, Courtney?
Yeah. So, anyways, going back to the painting. So, anyways, I pick up a little kit, and then the teacher teaches for like 2 hours and walks you through the whole painting. Well, this week, my friend picked out the Bob Ross style painting, which is so stinking hard.
Which seems weird. I thought the Bob Ross
And this
would have
is
been
a
an
class
easier one.
online.
Yeah. So it's a class
That's so
online.
cool.
It's
Yeah.
really cool.
They play music and
They
they
play
walk
music.
you through.
That's awesome.
Mix these colors together.
So, and they give you all the paints and everything. So that's really fun. And so, yeah, so I did this whole thing, and my friend's is looking really awesome, and mine is looking kind of jank. And it's just not looking
It's
really
not
good.
one of the better ones that you had done.
It's just so bad. And I'm not a painter.
What
like,
did you call those little bushes? The fuck it bushes?
the
or-
fuck it bushes, because towards the end of the painting, I was getting so tired, and the guy was like saying, well, you can go ahead and do this, because like we were just so behind. Like it was a hard painting. So I
Well,
just
thank
like
you for getting us the explicit tag this week, Courtney.
so anyways,
Yeah.
it was so then
So she just went through the bushes super quick and said, fuck it.
I just went like dabbed paint on it.
They're
and-
pretty bad.
They're so bad. And so anyways, I was like, I'm going to paint over this. And Jeb's like, well, actually, what happened if like Bigfoot and Loch Ness and like a UFO, like, so he wanted Riley to do it. So Riley did it. And the next morning I'm like, I feel pretty confident that I couldn't mess this up anymore. So I went ahead and I looked at Bigfoot like the original version, and they had one like whatever. So I painted all those things on there, and
we got an alien.
It made
we
it
got
better.
Loch Ness monster,
and
Bigfoot.
I posted it in the group, so you should.
Yeah, we're gonna hang it up here in the studio. I just don't know where we can do it yet. Yeah. So there.
Just know that it will be housed in North Carolina if it were sent.
Okay. Oh.
Put it out there. Put it out there.
Maybe could send it. Last time I sent you something, it didn't get there though.
Oh, that's right.
All right,
We
so
can discuss that.
we were talking about everything that's going on right now, and let's play Slow Children Mind of My Own.
What do you think about world peace? Famine, hunger, and corporate greed. Just stay focused on your TV. Come a slave to your screen. Pay no attention to the world outside. Stay indoors, close your eyes. I don't focus on the things that make me sad. Cause I don't like them, but I have something that they don't. I have something that they don't. I have something that they don't. I have something they don't. A mind of my own. Think for myself. Mind to keep me safe from harm. Mind of my own. So I can think for myself. Mind to keep me safe from harm. You think the cops can keep you safe from the terrors we're facing every day? From the poisons in the air you breathe, through the vultures nesting out all stray. We need to wake up and open our eyes. How long will we choke on these treacherous lies? No one's safe, it's all an illusion. We have plenty of cause for the revolution.
At the point, I think I understand why human life exists and why I want it all to end. Our unstructured nature don't make the love of peace. We'd rather burn a book than listen to someone else.
I prefer uncommon to a change. Things I believe in will never change. Amazing foundation, a solid grip, strong enough to anchor any side ship. I won't waste time playing by the rules of the fetus people society's school. I focus on the things that hurt me, because I'm strong and I have something that they don't. I have something that they don't. I have something that they don't. I have something they don't. A mind of my own. Think for myself. Mind to keep me safe from harm. Mind of my own. I can think for myself. Mind to keep me safe from harm. Mind of my own. Mind of my own. Mind of my own. Mind of my own. Mind of my own.
That was Slow Children, everybody. That was their song, Mind of My Own. They haven't been around for a long time, but I've always really loved that band. We played with them a whole bunch back in the day.
I thought they were great.
Yeah, and I thought it was a good song to play, Mind of My Own, for right now. Everyone should make up their own mind, be a little bit open right now.
I like the quote. One of their lyrics was, "We have plenty of cots, but no revolution." I thought that was pretty kind of point on spot.
I mean,
spot on point.
They have 2 albums out there, and Nate was the one. He was a singer. He has some great lyrics out there. His brother was the drummer, Justice. I don't know what Justice is up to right now, but I do know that Nate has a new band called Cadaver Pudding. And the guitarist Mike Cantrell is in the new band Standard Issue. Mike's in a bunch of bands all the time. But go just look those guys up. Standard Issue, Cadaver Pudding, see what they're up to now. And we'll check back in later. And now it's time for
Sport Needs segment.
All right. So last week we started with the Clifton Strengths Finders. And so we went through Jeff's strengths. And this week we're going to go through Jeb's. So Jeb's top 5 themes are communication, woo, competition, activator, and strategic. So I'm going to go ahead and read those very quickly. The communication theme, generally, those people find it easy to put their thoughts into words. They are good conversationalists and presenters.
I totally agree, though.
Which one was that again?
Communication.
Yeah.
Got it. And for the record, there's like 37 different categories.
Yes, there are. There are a lot of categories.
Yeah.
I didn't consider that when I was looking at my own results. I'm like, yeah, of course. Okay. I didn't realize that until I looked and saw how many categories. Next week, we will read through just all the titles of them, just so people have some context.
But the communication thing, I talk a lot, so
Yeah, I
makes
think
sense.
it works.
And
Yeah,
you're
it
a good
works.
conversationalist and presenter. So the woo, this is where you and Jeff are the same in that strength, and that doesn't surprise me at all.
We love to be loved.
And so again, that's just they love the challenge of meeting new people and winning them over. They derive satisfaction from breaking the ice and making a connection with other people.
That
And
also,
sometimes you find a friend.
that's right. And that's how me and Jeff found each other.
That is right. Okay.
It's
So
true.
the other new one that we haven't heard about is competition. So people who are especially talented in this theme measure their progress against the performance of others. They strive to win first place and revel in contests.
And anybody that's ever played any game with me, Horseshoes, probably the biggest one.
Yes.
Or
You
Monopoly.
Galanga.
Settlers,
Monopoly.
Tetris.
Galanga.
Jeff watched me beat Tetris one time. I mercied
That
it.
was, yeah.
I think I was
pretty impressive.
I think we came home like after the bar or something too, and I still nailed it. I just beat it. Bam.
Wow.
So
Fucking good at Tetris.
Yeah, you're good.
I
You're good at
beat-
everything.
Darts. No, I'm not good at everything.
No,
you
he's
should
not.
see me try to run in a straight line. Just right on my fucking face, dude.
Or ride a
trip it.
bicycle with 2 wheels.
Hey, I can do that.
Just not around corners. You got to get off and walk that.
I was little.
Okay, but I have beat Jeb in Monopoly one time, and I have photographic evidence of the moment that he saw on his face that he lost. I
Yeah.
love that
It,
picture.
it pops up as a Facebook memory. It's real
I know,
nice.
it's
Fuck
amazing.
you, Facebook.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so Jeb is also an activator, which is something that he shares with Jeff. And again,
There we go.
they can make things happen by turning thoughts into actions, and they are often impatient. What say you, Jeb?
Well, yeah. Fucking yeah.
Okay.
Do what I say and do it right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you
and
got
then,
me.
okay, so then the last one is strategic. So people who are talented in this theme create alternative ways to proceed. Faced with any given scenario, they can quickly spot the relevant patterns and issues. And I would say this is definitely one of your strengths that I rely on a lot. There's a lot of times where something happens and he's like, just let's take 24 hours and think about it. And then he always, I don't want to say always, but a lot of times comes up with a very strategic way to move forward that benefits both parties.
And you're talking about like a business, in our business.
But even in personal things, I've come to you and I was like, hey, I'm really struggling with this.
Well,
And
that's because you're a girl and you run with your emotions, and I'm like, just
Not-
settle down.
not all
Settle
girls
the
do
fuck
that.
down. Well,
you know,
I'm just being a dick.
okay.
No.
That's one of my things. That's one of my 6 characteristics. I added one because dick should be on there.
Characteristics.
Yeah, well, I think it nailed me. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it. Me and Jeff have 2 things in common, though, so that was interesting. The woo
Not
was no
shocking.
surprise. Yeah. And it just, I think also the way you're a manager, I'm a manager, so I think that the
Sure.
other
Right.
one kind of lines in. That's we talk to people, we manage people.
I'm also
and they're-
curious if your friendship happens because your strengths are so similar. Like if you're similar in that way that, I don't know, it's
Well,
it's
no,
interesting.
opposites attract.
Oh, that's
Oh,
true.
there
that's
you go.
true.
There you go.
So I don't know.
You're the yang of his yin.
Yeah.
I'm still really twisted on the idea of how there could be other categories based on the questions that I answered. But I'm finding out.
I haven't seen it, and I still haven't read the book.
I was really embarrassed when when I saw that there was 37 different ones. Cause I was like, yeah, of course.
Did you read the book, Will?
Twice.
You laughed at me though when I said I didn't. Yeah. Okay.
You should read it.
You should read it.
Yeah.
Well, yours is coming next week,
You
Will.
Will, you
We're
should
gonna
read it to
you
me.
like a book.
Oh, dun dun dun. Okay. So I think that we need to. Did we have any revisions or retractions from last week that we wanted to get into?
I'll go last.
Okay. That was awesome.
Wow.
Yeah. What a fucking dick.
I had one.
All right,
Okay,
let's
what
hear
is
it.
So I actually have a couple, but I'll be very quick. In the words of Will Ridge, so the do better, be better. I still haven't found out who exactly said that, but I just want to be very clear. I did not create that.
I've gotten your head with this.
There's-
I was kidding.
No. Like I just want to, but there is a nonprofit that called Do Better, Be Better to help families with medical debt. Somebody that I was talking to who's in a lot of the business circles said that it might have been from Chris Hogan, who is an awesome businessman, or Brendan Bouchard, but I haven't been able to find that. The one thing that when I did type in Do Better, Be Better, who said that, and I went through a rabbit hole, Dr. Maya Angelou did say, Do the best until you know better. Then, when you know better, you do better.
Oh,
So that is
nice.
something that she did say on her Twitter in 2018.
Wow.
But I think
That's
before
cool.
that as well. But anyways,
That
All
was
right.
very nice.
Well,
that
there
was
we go.
good, Courtney.
Okay.
We'll give her credit for now.
no, I mean that's who said it.
Oh, okay.
Oh well,
then
not the dude.
full marks.
Yeah, I mean I do believe that would be the closest to the
Okay.
shortened version.
All right. Well, Jeff, you're last. This is it. I have no retractions from last week.
Will?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I have one more that Jeb didn't say, so I'm gonna say it real quick. So Jeb said he doesn't joy cry, and I believe he forgot his new joy cry event, which is weddings. So the last time that he
you gotta
joy
call me
cried,
out?
Jesus Dave from Dyrokin's wedding. That is the last time you joy cried.
Oh, nice.
She got me. I did do that.
But I think you just forgot about it.
Yeah.
That and
I push it. I try to push it out like that. That doesn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, thanks for calling me out, Courtney.
Jeff.
Yeah, I just gotta clear my chest, and I feel kind of like Will before the paranormal segment, as he describes, he gets very nervous and sweaty. I'm really feeling a mix of Will and Carlton from Love Is Blind, just in the sense, if I don't say this right, it could come out really wrong. So I'm really, really gonna try, but I got called out last week. Handsome Keith, when we were talking, Will had asked him about paranormal, and he made a real point to say, and I totally agree, but he hadn't heard our conversation earlier in the podcast where I said, hey, you know what? Just because I don't believe it doesn't mean that I don't believe other people believe it. But
Right.
Keith went on and I really dug what he said. Hey, if it's been transformative for somebody, who am I to judge? Exactly. I'm right there with you. But Keith, that's how I feel too. You just didn't hear my part of it before. Hopefully you've listened to it by now, because now I'm going to go from a retraction into a proposition. Because if Mariachi El Bronx is looking for a maraca player, Congo bongo, interpretive dancer, look no further, bro. I will be there.
Yeah. And he will
Let
give
me
it
know.
100% energy.
Oh, but just give me a shot.
I couldn't imagine. But Jeff, for those of you that don't know, Courtney had a band called Courtney and the Heathens, and Jeff and Courtney started this band essentially with just Courtney playing songs on the guitar and singing, and Jeff on the washboard.
That's correct. That is correct.
And he was the washboard
In the living
player.
room.
In the living room, yeah.
I eventually got sucked into the band, and we played some shows, and Jeff would have to the management keep getting him down off of the benches and off of the walls and stuff. He was climbing the walls with it. So
It was just so freeing.
Very good band member.
I've been dancing to Mariachi El Bronx all week.
They're great, huh? Are you new
So
to
fun.
Did we introduce you to them? Did you
No.
not? Oh, okay, you knew of them before.
I
Okay.
knew of them. It had been a while. And Leche is such a great song. Catchy.
So, right now, what we're gonna do is there's we didn't get to all the current events when we were starting, and I pulled so many like little news articles and things for this week, and I wanted Will to read one of these for us, if you have it.
I do have it.
Okay. Well, let's and you just give us the cliff notes of it. You can hit us with some yada yadas.
All right, well, I'll just give you this, what you sent me. The adopted child we abandoned was an
boy.
adult dwarf, and she tried to kill us.
What?
Now, doesn't that catch your attention?
Tippecanoe County. Oh, fuck.
And Tyler, too.
A couple accused of abandoning their adopted daughter says the girl was actually an adult who was scamming them and even tried to kill them.
What?
Yeah, according to documents filed this month in the Tippecanoe County, Christine and Michael Barnett adopted a Ukrainian-born girl with dwarfism in 2010 and abandoned her 3 years later in Lafayette, Indiana, when they moved to Canada with their other children. They accused of the changing. Let's go. They are accused of changing the girl's age from 8 to 22 before they left.
What?
Charged with neglect of a dependent, both were released on a bond last week from Tippecanoe County Jail last week. In an interview with Daily, okay, we get it. She's all right. The results suggest she was at least 14. She allegedly tried to poison the girl and pushed her into an electric fence, and she attacked the baby. Yeah, okay, let me read this one. Then she said the girl was then the girl started making death threats against him. She allegedly tried to poison Christine and push her into an electric fence, and she attacked the baby. This is the little dwarf girl. The Barnett family took the girl to a state-run psychiatrist unit to help her. What's going on with her? She's crazy. She's hurting us. And then they found out that she's now 25 years old. And you should look at her because she does look 25. She's now back to 22 years old.
Right,
so that's it.
Okay, so Cliff notes on that is these people think they're adopting this. I think it was 11 at first when they got her, and they're like, she's much older. She's menstruating and has pubic hair and big vocabulary.
Thank you for the reading, Will.
Oh yeah, no, he's the best.
Anyways,
so then she starts acting out and like trying to hurt them is what they're alleging. So they take her into a bunch of different doctors, and the doctors are like, no, she's actually 18. This is like by the time she's 14 or supposedly 14, the doctor's like, no, she's 18. So these people set her up with an apartment and pay it for a year and split to Canada.
Yeah.
The neighbors get involved, and she's like, I'm just a little girl.
Right.
And so somehow the cops get involved and arrest the parents, or the foster parents. And these are people that have fostered other children and stuff, too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's an insane story.
That's really, wow.
Yeah, right?
I don't even know what to say about that.
It's real stuff.
It's some real news, hard-hitting stuff. I love the caption, though.
You got to watch
the headline.
You got to watch your on Dr. Phil.
Why?
Of course, they do a Dr. Phil live version of the story that we just said like 3 years ago.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, this is old news.
Oh,
Yeah,
jeez.
I've heard about this.
Really?
Oh, man.
I don't know if it was the same one, but I've heard something similar. Sounds.
Yeah. She
just
comes
like
out.
it. Let me guess. Florida, Ohio.
Indiana.
Okay.
So
Ballpark.
go fuck yourself.
Same thing. Indiana's the same thing as Ohio.
Okay. All right, you guys, that was Last Point, and that was the song Redeemer. They have a new album that's coming out soon, I believe. I know they're in the mastering process now.
Nice job, TJ.
Yeah, dude, TJ's my homie. Well, they're all homies from Santa Barbara. TJ and me played in La Vasta together for a long time, and Matt played in there for just a little while. Known Josh for a very long time, too. Courtney works with him. So these are people very close to us, and they're killing it right now.
Awesome.
I can't wait to hear those new masters. I get just a little tiny taste, and I wasn't even allowed to show it to you guys, but you're really going to dig it when it comes out.
That's rad.
So go check out this song, Redeemer, on YouTube, too. They have a really funny video that goes along with it. Yeah.
They're fun, silly guys, too.
Oh, totally, yeah.
When they come to your town, buy them a drink. They're cool guys to hang out
Yes,
with.
for sure.
For sure.
Not 3 drinks, though.
Welcome to my paranormal segment. Hello, everybody. It's Will again, back for the paranormal segment. I got a couple things I just want to say before we get into the paranormal that is pretty much bullshit. Is that, do you guys remember growing up watching MTV? I just want to let you guys know how old we are, okay?
Oh, yeah.
And I've been wanting to tell you this a long time ago. This is how old we are.
Okay.
Kurt Loder, who's from the MTV News,
Yeah, so
just
I saw that.
turned 75 years old.
That's
Whoa.
crazy. I know. I saw that
Wow.
too. Yeah.
Holy smokes.
Yeah. But
He looked 65 back in the 80s or 90s when he came on.
Is
Yeah.
that crazy?
yeah, no, it's pretty wild.
I'm so old, I was there for day one of MTV.
Is that right?
I remember it.
Do
Yeah.
you? That's
Oh, yeah.
wild.
I think you should get a little tattoo of the logo, MTV,
Right on your neck.
Ooh.
and TBS.
And on the other side, HR.
Anyways, I want to get into this. It's this is something that I really have to call bullshit, but it's interesting. I wanted to go up into California and find out these ghost stories are paranormal. And this is Fresno Night Crawler. I don't know if you guys ever got a chance to see this.
No.
No.
It's interesting. It was taking place in 2007 off a security camera by a Fresnosian.
Oh, I do know what you're talking about now. Okay,
A
go ahead.
How do you say a Fresnesian? It was captured by a frightened Fresnesian in 2007, and it was grainy and it was videotaped. But what it looks like, it resembles a pair. Sorry, I laughed. It resembles a pair of long white pants
What?
and a small head on top of the white pants.
Okay, no, this is something different. I don't know what you're talking about at all.
So imagine a pair of white pants
Yep.
walking,
Yeah.
but a head on top of the white pants.
That's what the fuck.
Full side head?
And how did they catch this? Is this like
It was on a security camera from a Fresnesian that saw it, Fresnosian, right?
I don't know.
Well, that's what it says.
A resident. of
A
Fresno.
resident of Fresno. That sounds
okay?
better.
Okay.
And it was seen walking down the aisle or the road, and it looks absolutely.
Will, is this a full-sized head?
No, it is like a
Well, it might just look small in comparison to the big legs.
right. Maybe you're right. It could be a full
I
size
don't know.
head. But
Is it, how big is this thing?
well, the size of pants.
Oh, it's just so it's like a
But
regular
what size
of
pants? Are we talking like 32s, 38s?
Are we-
Waist doesn't matter. I mean, well, depending
Well-
on how big the neck is on the
Well,
head.
imagine
Under.
pants
Yeah.
walking
Yeah.
with a head on top of it.
I got it. Yeah.
How long are the legs inside the pants? That's what we're
Well,
asking.
no.
I just thought maybe like is it like like a full size person size pair of pants? with
Yeah,
the head on
fine.
top? That's
Yeah,
what
yeah.
I was imagining.
Yes.
So
And
like
it's walking.
a 6 foot pair of pants with a head on it.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know.
That's so weird.
I don't know.
Well, you should
So
see
what
the-
did it do? Did it kill some babies or
No,
what
it
happened?
didn't do anything. It
Eat
just
some goats?
kept walking, and then
kept
it was
walking.
It just kept walking.
and it was very freaky if you want to look at it.
No one saw it in person though.
No one saw it in person.
Oh.
Some other people think that it was a made up alien or whatever, which clearly it to me it looks terrible.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I've never heard of anything like that. I did hear this week though a couple Bigfoot things.
Oh, I want to hear.
Did you research for this?
Yeah. This is
Me?
a segment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a
Where
pretty
did
good.
you find? Where did you find this? Wow.
Well, I'll tell you right now.
Don't tell us, because that's where the surprises come. My bad. I shouldn't ask how the bread is made.
One of the reason why they said why would this cryptoid show up in Fresno, and somebody goofed saying because we're known for very wonderful tacos. The city is, which I don't know if that's true or not.
Wait a
But
minute.
how does that relate to pants?
They were wondering why this pant creature showed up in Fresno. Why there, not
Right.
New York, Japan? Why Fresno?
Oh, because it came to eat tacos.
And they were saying, well, maybe it's because we have really good tacos.
I have a theory. I think it was probably a dwarf that was adopted and trying to get away. Yeah, I'm blowing it.
Yeah.
Anyways,
The Russian dwarf thing. I was trying to bring
No,
it back.
I
yeah,
got
I
it.
couldn't think of it. God damn it.
that was
Go ahead.
good.
Good communication.
Anyways, this is why we're going to be retiring
Calling me out this week.
the paranormal segment because it just doesn't land anymore.
It does. It lands every week. I love it. I've never heard of this. So.
Well, you got to take a look at it because it's so fake and makes you sick.
All right. Well, give
Well,
us the photo. We're gonna put it up on our all our socials.
All right,
And
Fresno
I might have to
Nightcrawler.
add that to the painting.
Fresno Nightcrawler.
Fresno
Okay, so here's
Nightcrawler.
some Bigfoot updates. So I had heard that there was a Bigfoot video or picture out there with a cougar, mountain lion, something with Bigfoot hand in its mouth. Couldn't find it. So if anyone can find that, I would like to see it. But in the process of Googling that, I found in like Kentucky or somewhere. There was a deer that was kind of partially eaten in the middle of the woods and covered up with leaves. So they thought either it was a cougar, because that's like a cat kind of trait, but it was a pretty big deer. It was a big
but cougars put them up in trees, so nobody can.
This is a big deer. There's no way a cougar could have done that. Like, it'd been tough for it to kill it, or it was Bigfoot. So I mean,
So
those are the
cougar
only
or
two options
Bigfoot?
I could see. Not fake. And then there was a Bigfoot real estate ad that was going around this week. That was pretty classic. They're trying to sell the house, and he's in every room of the house, on the
that's
couch,
good.
in the bed, and whatever.
I like that.
Yeah, and to wrap it up, I have one question for you.
Yes.
If you were out in the woods and you were hunting or whatever, and you saw a Bigfoot, would you shoot it
No,
to prove to everyone that it existed?
absolutely not.
Because that would be definitive. Then it would suck to take its life, right?
No.
But then you have definitive proof. I got this motherfucker. What?
I gotta let it live.
You gonna let it live?
Gotta let it
Yeah.
live.
Is there only one Bigfoot?
No. So that's what I'm.
Then pop it.
I'm saying
Oh my
pop it
gosh,
too,
you
man. I
guys
got
are-
it. I
you guys-
know. I've thought about this all week when I thought of that question. I almost put that as question of the week.
I mean, imagine, then you fall down a cliff and you didn't kill it, and then remember the romantic story. He's like, you didn't kill me, so I'm going to save you, and brings you back to the cabin where he's at and has a drink.
Really? I think you're writing a screenplay right in front of us.
I think I blacked out. I want to tell you this.
Are my headphones working?
If
I
you,
know, I
if
don't
you didn't,
understand.
you don't get it. Listen,
No,
I don't know why I have to explain. If I didn't shoot the motherfucker, he remembers.
No,
Yeah.
I get
And I
that.
fell down the cliff, and he goes, hey, bro, you didn't kill me. Let me suck the poison out of your leg. I don't know where poison came
What?
from. I fell down the cliff. I don't know where the poison, but let me get you all good.
Yeah.
Come back to my cabin or my cave. Let's hang out, play some Condasta.
This specific.
I'm just telling you, that's going to be a good movie.
I think that you
Okay.
need to write these ideas down and bring them to the table.
God damn it, I'm not
Yeah.
coming back next week.
Yes, you are.
All right.
Our next production meeting, this is what you have to bring. Like, let's do. Okay, wait, I have an idea. Because once upon a time, you had said for a segment idea of a puppet show. So could you please make a puppet show here in the studio? We can record it of that story. You can make your own little puppets, your own hand puppets.
Maybe
and
just go
do
grab
all
a
the
taco
voices.
up in Fresno.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna puppet yeah.
Okay. So last night we dived in just last minute, put it off all week, but Love is Blind. So
Jeff
I
wants
hate to
to-
kind of say it. It was better than the other ones.
Okay,
It's
but
best one yet.
Jeff's gonna recap for
Yeah.
us.
So go ahead, Jeff.
No, go on.
No, you're the
I don't-
recapper.
No, you're the recap master.
All right.
I know you're chewing and eating for some reason on here. Trying
Turkey jerky. Well, you guys were all deep into the paranormal of Bigfoot's balls, so I figured I'd. Get
We
a
haven't
bite
talked
in.
about his dick in a minute. I have some other theories, but we're gonna let it go for another time.
So we are, let's see, about 27 days to the weddings, 10 days into the show. Your basic breakdown, the first few minutes of it is the just first morning recap. Then you get into their daily activities. Then they spend a lot, like an entire segment on Carlton and Diamond, and you'll know why.
Yeah.
And then it ends with a big group party. Everybody's coming together for the first time. And
Like we didn't see that shit coming.
well, speaking of seeing, they hadn't seen each other.
Right.
Yeah.
So it was everybody putting faces to voices.
And we knew that was gonna.
They
That's
didn't-
controversy right there. They did
Right.
that shit on purpose.
But they
Well,
didn't know
I mean,
at that
clearly
time.
they did it on purpose, but like,
But at that time, they didn't even know that was gonna happen.
right. But I know, but
Right.
I knew that was gonna happen.
I know.
So Kelly and Kenny, nobody cares about them. Really, it's cute that they're just choosing to cuddle.
She's super annoying.
Congratulations.
Super annoying. I don't like to laugh. I liked her
Tank-
before he's seen all the kissing and the laughing. I don't like it.
Yeah.
Makes me
She's
feel
the-
uncomfortable.
I hate kissing.
So much fucking kissing.
Wait.
I'm talking about the right person, right? The shorter chick.
Yeah.
Still not taking notes.
Yes,
So, yeah.
but
With
still,
Ex Machina.
there were
Yeah.
so many kissing like things right as you wake up, and I have got to say, that is like not realistic.
I still try to give Courtney some kisses in the
What-
morning. every
which
now and
part
again.
isn't realistic? Because the whole thing's pretty unrealistic.
Waking up and not brushing your teeth and going in for full kisses and stuff. Come on now, That is not. That's like fairy tales type of stuff where,
Courtney's like, if you haven't brushed your teeth, don't be getting in my face.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
And vice versa. I just don't like. I don't like it. I don't like.
That's young love. They're that excited just to be around each other.
Well, me and Courtney have been together since 17, and that's been a kind of a rule.
Yeah.
Probably because you stank.
No, I mean first thing in the morning. Yeah.
Dude,
Tank Girl and Barnett. Well, as Jeb had predicted, they spent some time at the what did you call it, Jeb?
What?
They had relations. You had a real unique way of explaining it.
The Fuck Factory?
No.
They had a Bone Storm?
Yeah.
Bone Storm.
Yeah, okay.
That's good.
Bone Storm Charlie hit the shores of Mexico.
Yeah.
straight into their bungalow.
Oh, dude, that's crazy on crazy, those two. We knew that was going to fucking happen. She's like, that's all we've been doing is fucking. They're kind of rad for each other because they both seem like fucking idiots. Like, the shit they're talking about on the beach and whatever. I'm like, you guys are peas in a pod, dude. So good for them.
They didn't quite understand or remember what a vegan was.
Yeah, right. That was it. Yeah. Well,
go ahead.
No, you go.
Gianni and Devin, they seemed, day 447. She can now scratch off the list. Also, got caught up in the Bone Storm. They kind of seem. I don't know what they seem like.
They seem like they like each other.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a couple that seem like they like each other. You first see the.
You're talking Cameron and Lauren. Absolutely, they seem legit.
Yeah.
They seem super legit.
For sure.
Who are those again? I'm not.
Cameron's the scientist guy.
Yeah.
With the funny chest hair.
Yeah, that's right.
You've got Mark and Jessica. Now I have to come out strong and say, Jessica looks amazing without makeup. She's beautiful.
Yeah,
it's
looks
actually
a lot better.
The makeup that. Yeah,
I was talking a lot of shit on her face last week or whenever.
I was telling you that. I told you.
You're right. I saw that too, and I was like, damn it, she does have better skin than me. But that's
hey,
fine.
we're just saying, good on Jessica.
Yeah.
But she's
a hooker though.
She's keeping a strong distance from our boy Mark.
I like Mark, dude. He seems like he needs to man up a little bit. I don't know.
No, he is.
He's trying, but she's just being a piece. We always knew, I think everyone knew that as soon as she saw Barnett, she was going to slide right off the seat, getting slippery. You know what I mean?
That is how it kind of starts to end up. But you are definitely skipping over Diamond and Carlton because they slept in different rooms that night.
That's right.
Feel so
after
bad
the big
for her.
reveal.
I wondered if he had to pay for his own room. That's what I was thinking when I saw that. I was like, I wonder if the producers paid for a separate room.
Of course they did.
They did, and they probably gave him a shittier one too.
They should.
They only gave a little clip of it. I was thinking about that.
He wasn't right the way that he treated her.
He was a dick the whole time.
He was just mean to her from
bisexual
the moment.
or not, dude.
Yeah, it doesn't.
He handled that completely wrong, and he was an asshole. Were there any quotes this week that you got, Will? Did you watch it?
I did. I got.
Did you watch the whole thing?
Yes.
He shook his head yes
terrible,
and no.
Jessica and Mark. That's just such a fucking train. Here's a quote: "You don't snore and you don't sweat. Two of my pet peeves."
Yeah.
So you're not real. I don't know. I just look at her and I go, "You suck, but nice blue eyes." You know.
She okay. Yeah. No. Everything that she says, she's being so mean to him.
I mean, it's.
Will, did you have any turds in the house while you were watching this week?
What was the shit situation?
Well,
The dog.
the dog is learning. Thank you.
Okay.
So there was no defecation going on in my house while I was watching her.
All right. Is there anything else that you want to jump into, Jeff? Here, I mean.
Nah.
Okay. So
we know that Carlton and Diamond left the show.
They have left.
Yeah.
They have left the building. He was
and
mean.
then the party at the end, it ends on Barnett and Jessica
flirting. Yep.
So
and,
we will see.
And old Crazy Eyes was like, she can go flirt as much as she wants. This shit's not gonna happen. She's like, I'm gonna stalk him. I already told him. Some shit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tank Girl's very confident in her position right now.
In fact, it's laughable. It's not even.
Oh yeah.
Remember?
Oh, you did watch the end.
Yeah. Well, this morning.
Okay.
Hey,
you did
that
it.
still counts.
It counts.
Yeah.
I will say, Vanessa Lachey, go back on Wipeout.
Oh, Wipeout. That's your shit right there, Jeff. Love some Wipeout.
Yeah.
I love Wipeout.
Yeah, it's great.
Is that still going?
Wipeout is your AFE. It's the same thing.
Yes.
That's what will tickle him like that.
Yes.
That's the same
Okay,
fucking
yeah.
thing. That is,
Yeah.
I just
Yes.
remember that. All right, you guys. Up next, we got AJ Condasta. He's going to talk to us a little bit. We're going to play a song from one of his bands. He's in so many fucking bands. But the one we're going to play today is Hit the Switch. The song's called North Star. We'll go ahead and play it and give him a call, and then we'll check in with him and see how it's going.
Drifted through the marsh, we made it just outside the bed. No one inside the cars, we all left in the end. And with the harsh and bitter cold struck down the last of all our walls, we painted black our faces with their blood and ashes. Then we soaked the flames and rode the wind. Bogged down by the waves, we spotted hoping that I'll run out in the dark. But it's too late. We're not whole, we're not welcome anymore, and never the same. We're still battling our own ways.
Care. I tell you, I don't care. I'm a human being. I exist. And if I speak once or aloud, that thought lives.
A peace made with a man and his disease. He saw their pain, and he couldn't help but feel the connection. The realization all this was for him. Now he drops to his knees and asks again. Burn the words, it hurts, but still we can't give in. Can't be faded, can't be moved. Get over it. Just move along and don't look down. Just keep yourself alive. Been moving down the road, but still can't find those hidden stones. No, I can't do this on my own. 'Cause I need you to bring me home. All that burns and most of all the words and events have got a lot to live, but they have grace. So tell me not of the tales that strike our fears, they can disappear. I'm still battling my own ways.
All right, yo, what's
Yo.
up, AJ? How's it going, man?
Good, man. As good as it could be, I guess.
Yeah. You can see me over here good?
Yep.
All right. Hey, I just want to introduce everyone real quick to you. This is Courtney right here, my wife.
Hey.
We've
Hi, Courtney.
met before. This is Will Ridge over here.
Hi, AJ.
And out there in Raleigh, North Carolina, we got Jeff with
What's
the
up, Jeff?
What's up, AJ?
with his Dodger hat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good. I had to get out of the house and stuff, so my wife and I just came up to Big Bear Lake. My family
oh.
lives in a cabin and stuff up here, so
Nice. So you're
Here
escaping the
with,
craziness down there. How's it? Is it getting really wild by where you are specifically in LA?
if you're referring to like the protests and all that shit
Yeah.
going on,
yeah.
that's going to be starting tomorrow. Apparently, there's a protest scheduled for downtown Riverside on Monday.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Santa Barbara is starting like now is the protest, so
Yeah, it's crazy everywhere, man.
it's pretty wild. Well, that's good that at least you're able to get away and stuff. And
Yeah.
I guess congratulations is in order. You're gonna have
Yeah,
a baby.
congratulations.
Congratulations.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Yeah, man. You
Yeah.
picked
That's awesome.
you picked a good time to do it. Now that you can't tour and stuff.
Yeah, right. Well, by the time my kid is born, it'll probably be time to get back to work and get back on the road. So
That's
that
right.
kind of sucks.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you'll be able to.
We're all
have
hoping
fun.
for that.
Yeah. But at least I could be home with my wife because through most of the pregnancy, because I don't see much happening on the like tour or show front.
Right.
At least for the rest of this year.
That's
Maybe
pretty-
a couple of things, but not any tours. Like or festivals, all the big festivals and stuff we had booked are all definitely rescheduled for next year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Switch was supposed to go to Japan, and now that's getting rescheduled for next year.
Sucks.
So,
Wow.
as far as all that stuff.
That really
major
sucks, man.
stuff.
Yeah. We had Keith Douglas on here last week. You know Keith, right?
I think so.
Trumpet player, Mariachi El Bronx, Mad Caddies.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was having the same kind of thing. He was like, we're like, when are you gonna get back out there? Does anyone know? And so far, it's just a big unknown and gray area.
Yeah. They don't know what's going on either. I'm still good friends with Mark Bush. He's their trumpet player for Mad Caddies and stuff. Him and I were in Voodoo Glow Skulls together for years.
That's
so
right.
We're still pretty good friends. And I spoke with him the other day, and he's like, I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And now everyone's struggling, dude. So what do you guys kind of? I know that you're doing your drum track things on like Facebook Live and that, which have been killer.
Yeah, I gotta admit, I'm not a musician, but
What?
well, I'm not. I'm
he's a big musician.
Listen, I'm not. No, I
He's a
just don't know
country
anything.
music guy.
All I know is that I really was enjoying your Facebook Live. I think you're a fantastic drummer, and I really respect it and love watching you play. So
thank you.
That's from me. Not really having a rhythm like Steve Martin.
Yeah.
So I'm very impressed. It's memorizing to see you.
By the way, AJ, he is so full of shit. He is such a good musician. He just always downplays himself. So.
Anyways, it's very good to see you. And,
That's to be determined, I guess.
Yeah, we played North Star off your last album, and Tropic with Hit the Switch too. And I was, dude, I love that song. I love that whole album. I have that on pretty much on repeat on Spotify since you guys put it out.
Yeah, that's a good song.
That's a fun. I guess that's something I could start. If you want to start the plug-in, I can plug that right now. We're in talks with a Canadian label. I'm not going to give too much detail, but I will say that album will be re-released and reissued.
Nice.
On
Fantastic.
a Canadian label.
Very cool.
And so yeah, keep an eye out for that. That'll be in the very near future.
That's killer.
So we've been sold out of that for almost the last year, it seems like. So
you guys didn't really get to tour that album too much, did you? Not from what I saw.
No, we just did a couple. But that's kind of the thing with Hit the Switch and kind of how we've always been is, there's a couple of the guys. I'm now joining that team in that band of guys that have kids. But, Ray, our bass player, he's got 3 kids and a business that him and his wife runs.
Mm-hmm.
Matt's got 2 kids and business and all that stuff that he runs. So, I mean, that's why we took our time making a new record to begin with. And since we took so long to do that, we're like, well, why change our point of view on it now?
Right.
I mean, there was obviously a new sense of urgency because we had something new to promote and to go out and tour. It still wasn't just like all or nothing. It's never gonna be all or nothing in that band. We want to do things at our own pace and what's comfortable for us, and which is me and Justin. Our lead guitar player is Justin Van Westbrook, who's also in Guttermouth with me, and him and I have been good friends for like 20 years. So, we've got plenty of other stuff to keep us busy.
Guttermouth just keeps charging forward, man. You guys never stop.
Yeah, we just signed with Covert Booking with Landon, and
Killer.
Landon keeping us pretty busy and stuff too. So
Right.
it's just fun stuff. But same thing, same sense of urgency with that band. It's just like, whatever comes our way, like, cool, we can afford to say no to stuff. We don't have to say yes to everything. Voodoo Glow Skulls started doing that too the last couple of years, since Frank left the band and stuff, just working smarter and not harder. That old cliche, but
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
when you can only tour
As you
the
get
same
older, it's
goddamn
harder,
bar.
man. It's harder as you get older. You have responsibilities and families.
Yeah, you can only tour the same goddamn bars so many times,
That's
in
right.
the States and Europe and all that. So it's just like, okay, let's do these shorter tours for better gigs and
Right.
better
Yeah.
opportunity,
AJ, could I talk a little bit about you a little bit for a quick second? I was told that you work at a brewery.
I do. Yeah, it's closed right now, but I've been at Wick's Brewing Company for like over 6 years or so.
I know,
You guys are still in the quarantine phase of it, huh?
They're starting to reopen now, and I'm probably going to return to work. I was going to return to work next week, but with my wife still being in her first trimester,
Right.
Ooh, that's gotta
I'm
be
not really
extra
comfortable
sketchy.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm not really comfortable going back to work until she does.
Right. But still,
And
that's going to be
over-
scary now. Like, I didn't even think about it like that.
Well, because people are idiots, man.
That's
like
right.
even on like the government has, which I understand, and I can't exactly blame them, but the government has the economy as their priority right now. That's why they're ignoring a lot of the CDC's recommendations and everything,
Right.
which I completely get. You know, people got to get back to work, businesses got to survive, they got to reopen.
Right.
So if you reopen things under the disclaimer that people must wear masks, you're only at 50% capacity and stuff like that, then great. Maybe there won't be a new resurgence and a new spike
Right.
Sure.
and all this COVID stuff.
I
But-
think people should have the choice. I think it's.
Okay.
I think we did what we were supposed to do. We flattened the
Well,
curve.
that's what I'm getting at. Is
Yeah.
people are stupid and can't be trusted. Like even
Yeah.
on my drive up here to Big Bear, we got up here and the town is flooded with people that are sick of being in lockdown in LA.
Yeah.
Well, so they're up here in crowds, no masks,
Yeah.
no distancing, nothing, and it's just like.
Well,
you know,
same
they-
thing with the protesting.
I
Have you
was
seen how
gonna
many
say that, yeah.
all the people with protesting? I
Yeah.
mean, I saw many pictures where there is definitely not
That's not
social
Yeah,
distancing.
Big-
There's no
Big
social
Bear
But I know
Lake-
that's not on their mind right now. I get
and
that.
Big Bear Lake is a small town that had very few cases up here
Mhm.
and survived up here.
Right.
And they made it through the worst of it. And then my stepdad, you know, whose house I'm at right now,
Mhm.
he has basically lung disease. If he gets that shit,
Oh.
he's a
Right.
fucking goner.
right.
So, you know, it just upsets me a little bit that people can't just follow a little bit of guidelines. I know it's an inconvenience.
You got to follow
know.
proto.
I don't mind wearing a mask because I cover half of my ugly ass face, so that's cool with me. I can walk around a little bit more.
No, it covers
comfortable.
my double chin a little bit.
We
It's
are
nice.
friends.
People have been doing it in Japan for decades, so
Right. Hey AJ,
it's not that big of a deal.
I have a question for you. So, you have been in a ton of bands. How long have you been a touring musician?
Well, professionally, to where I'm actually
Yeah.
able to make at least like half of my living at it, probably about 10 or 12 years.
Oh,
but,
Nice.
I thought it would have been much longer than that.
no, but I've been touring. Shit, I went on my first tour. I think I was like 14 or
Wow.
15.
That
I'm
seems more
old.
like it. Yeah.
My old band Hamper, you know, just,
That's a great name.
I love that name.
Yeah,
and not
hampers.
in the sense of the laundry hamper, but in the sense of the meaning of the word hamper is
Right.
like
Yeah, the
to
hinder.
hamper a decision or to retard, to repress.
Yeah.
You know,
Mm.
we were 12-year-old punk kids when we started that band and
That's
made that name. But yeah,
awesome.
we used to play all the like showcase theater and all that stuff in Southern California and the Barn and Copacetic Cafe, and we were fortunate enough to open and play with a lot of our favorite bands and stuff at that time. And a lot of people loved us because we were little kids, you know, and we
Yes.
gave it our all. And I used to play guitar for that band. I wasn't even playing drums yet. And I would just jump in the crowd. I'd jump off of
Nice.
drum risers. I was like a little jumping bean. So we
Yeah.
got a lot of people's attention. And, you know, they were like, man, look at these fucking crazy kids. Let's put them on some shows. So
Get that one little taste of validation. That one little.
Yeah,
you're like,
exactly.
yeah. I'm
Yeah.
losing my fucking mind.
So,
Yeah.
okay, so you've been touring for quite some time, you know, professionally and amateur. I don't know what you call that in musician terms, but
basically touring to not make any
That's
money.
right, that's right.
You get two weeks or 3 weeks of vacation time from your job every year.
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you save your money, and then
Yeah.
that's what you use your vacation
I've
toward.
been doing that my whole life. Yeah.
Yeah.
That kind
You're
of thing.
making enough money each night to get to the next city, basically.
Yeah.
Totally.
That's the amateur.
So tell me one or two life lessons that you've learned on the road.
Ooh. Courtney always
Um,
gets serious.
Well, you've
Oh,
got to
there's
have some
tons.
good stuff.
Well, there's tons for me because I have like mild OCD. So
Mm.
I have a list on my phone. It's like a tour checklist. Like,
Oh.
make sure I have all of this shit so I don't have to
So you're
buy
not.
it.
Yeah.
So I can be comfortable.
Hmm.
Get
but-
stuck.
Touring like aside, just in the music business, either I've definitely enforced the motto of I'll believe it's happening when I get home from doing it.
There we go.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's not even I'll believe it when I see it or anything like that. It's I'll believe it when I get home from doing it. Because
Right.
even middle of tours, it's like, all right, fuck, we're going home. So and so being a dick or
Oh,
you know,
wow.
Yep.
this happened and that happened and we got to go home. So
Yeah.
that's definitely the main one is I'll believe it's happening when I get home from doing it.
So how many bands are you currently playing in right now?
I guess just 2.5.
2.5?
Yeah, just hit the switch and Guttermouth mainly, but still Jughead's Revenge, even though same sense of urgency with those guys.
Right.
Yeah,
You guys had
it's
some
just-
shows lined up though, right?
Yeah, we had the Redbridge Fest in Canada, and we're also reissuing some old Jughead's records and stuff on that same label in Canada. It's People of Punk Rock, by the way. Hit the Switch is going to be working with them, and so is Jughead. So
Killer.
A little something cool to look forward to. A lot of those records haven't been on vinyl in very long. But yeah, we had Redbridge Fest in Quebec, and then a couple of shows like in Montreal and stuff booked. I think I'm supposed to be there right now.
Yeah,
I think it's like next weekend or this weekend or something. But that's rescheduled for next year. So.
Have you ever been to Montreal?
Oh yeah, tons. My wife is from Montreal.
Oh, okay. I heard it's amazing. I've never been, but I heard it's amazing big town, right?
Yeah, Montreal is great. It's definitely one of my favorite cities for sure. And just Canada, period, especially in Quebec, like it's like Simi Valley in the 90s. Like they still just love skate punk, just punk rock, and they still come out and support it. And a lot of bands do well and stuff out there.
Awesome.
And the Canadian government is also caters a lot more to the arts, as well. It's domestic arts for Canadian musicians and stuff there, or as well as people traveling to there to play. So that's also a little more comforting. But yeah, I love Canada, man. I met my wife at Catacombs in Montreal. It was the first show of Voodoo Glow Skulls tour.
Oh.
And it was the first show of the Canadian leg, and she worked for the record label that brought us out there, and she was one of our tour managers. So I was sleeping on a green room couch at Catacombs, and in walks this beautiful French Canadian chick with big cases of craft beer and
it was love at
first sight.
Poutine, yeah, big tray of poutine.
Poutine. That's right.
Did I die and wake up in heaven?
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. So I just have
a
couple.
Hold on, real quick. That's another thing to go back and really answer your question about one of the main things that I've learned is she's my third wife. Third time's a charm. I have 2 ex-wives, and
is this your first child?
Meeting somebody that is from the industry and that understands what it's really like for bands at our level to be on tour, to understand that it's not all glitz and glamour or sex, drugs, and bullshit.
Right.
It's mostly us hiding in a green room, fighting social anxiety until it's time to go and play, and then packing up, working hard, and taking off and driving to the next city or sleeping in a shitty hotel or whatever. So marrying somebody that empathizes with that and that actually gets that is
that's huge.
It's definitely key.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. That's a good one.
So what is next? I mean, I know that we're all stuck for a while. Are you guys going to try to do stuff like remotely with any bands, do some recording? We're kind of doing that with my new band where guitar and drums record at the same time, and then everyone adds in their own things, just kind of remotely writing music.
Yeah, like right now, Hit the Switch is working on this reissue stuff. So we've all just been kind of doing our own thing since we got home from Europe late last year. And so now we're kind of all reconnecting and getting back on the same page and stuff together, and hashing everything out for the reissue, and then working everything out with our booking agents and stuff to see what we get for next year. But as far as now, I mean, Matt's starting to write again. That's where the writing all starts in that band, is with Matt. So he's been doing some voice memos of some song ideas on his guitar and sending them to Ray and Justin and stuff, and just to start the slow process of
that's kind of what we're doing too.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'm looking forward to some quarantine albums. I bet there's so many bands that are just like, okay, now I'm stuck at home for a couple months.
Yeah, totally. I mean,
I've got so many things to say.
I was going nuts. I mean, especially with all the extra shit that's going on now with all the protests and everything else. We're gonna have a lot to write about. We thought it was crazy before, but now it's even fucking crazier.
I don't like Jewel, the singer or artist.
Okay,
that's random. Okay,
in fact, I almost don't even want to talk about it, but I will just say one thing. Jewel came out with a live. This is a good idea.
Okay,
live from San Quarantine.
Oh.
But it's all live music of all their girlfriends, drinking wine, having a good time. But live from San Quarantine?
Yeah.
Well, that's a kind of a good one.
Yeah, I guess it's a nice
Even better if she does all Johnny Cash.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that would be better.
AJ, I got a question for you.
Metallica, Saint Anger. Yeah, you got a question? What'd you say?
So with the quarantine, who are you listening to right now?
Fuck, I still can't get enough of that latest Pears record.
Oh hell yeah,
It's a good one,
dude.
The latest Screeching Weasel record is fucking amazing.
Wait, I didn't even know they had a new one.
Yeah, it's so good, man.
I'm blowing it. I love Screeching Weasel.
And other than that, I've just been listening to all the songs that are on my drum video playlist that I made of songs that I want to do drum videos for.
Yeah, that Lagwagon one was killer.
Thanks, man. I just had to start doing something. I would have gotten depressed and gone nuts if I couldn't play my drums. And normally when I get home from a tour, they'll sit in their cases until it's time to go back out again. But once everything started getting canceled, I was like, all right, fuck that. I'm setting them up. And then what am I going to do? I can only run through the sets from my band so many times.
Right.
I was just like, well, I'm going to
start learn some cover
around
songs
with iMovie and trying to make some videos. So I'm getting a little bit better at it, but it's cool. So I'll like wake up in the morning and I'll put that playlist on while I'm drinking my coffee and smoking way too many cigarettes. and then I'll be like, oh, I'm feeling this song today. So I'll put that song on repeat and then I'll start like breaking it down note for note. And then I'll go and try to do a couple takes and make a video out of it. And then it takes me a couple hours to edit it and then it's done. And I feel like I accomplished something and I challenged myself to play songs that are kind of outside of my comfort zone and stuff a little bit too.
Oh,
a
that's
lot
cool.
of the drummers that have been like my idols are, I'm just like, fuck, like I'm a hack compared to George Rebello and Dave Ron and stuff like that. But
I thought you killed, like I said, I thought you killed that one though.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to let you go unless anyone has any final thoughts.
Congratulations on your child.
Yeah.
Yeah. So exciting.
Stoked.
Yeah.
It'll be a nice Christmas present.
Perfect. Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's killer. Well, thank you so much, AJ, for talking to us. We're going to give all your links so you guys can go out there and check out his solo drumming things, doing the covers. And, of course, we're going to plug all the bands for you guys. We'll put it on the playlist, etc.
Please come back. If you have something to promote or you guys are touring, feel free to hit us up. We'd love to have you back on.
Yeah.
Anytime, man. Just hit me up.
And anybody that you know
Thank you.
That might want to come and talk to us, shoot me a text. Let me know who that might be. We'd love to talk to everybody. I know everyone's sitting around at home right now, so it's a good time to have some chats. So
that's why a lot of these labels are hitting up bands about reissuing old records too, because they know a lot of bands are home and they can't pretend that they're too busy to respond. They're pretty smart. They got to figure it out. It's I know you're not touring, motherfucker.
I know you're just sitting on your ass.
Yeah.
All right, man. AJ, thank you so much.
Thank you, AJ.
We'll talk to you later, bro. See you.
Yeah.
See you, AJ.
Peace.
All right, everybody. That was AJ Condasta from Hit the Switch. Thank you so much for calling
in. Thank you again, AJ.
Thank you for calling in and talking to us.
A lot of good things to say.
Yeah, dude, that was cool. Congratulations again. Just want to kind of go into some closing thoughts. We talked last week about doing the voicemails, and we did that whole thing, but we still didn't get our phone. But Courtney does have the phone number.
By the time that you hear this episode, the phone number should be up and active.
That's right. So please call us with everything. We're hoping that the bands are going to call in. Give us your paranormal. Give us your songs. Give us your fuck yous. Your go fuck yourselves. What the fuck is this phone number? Whatever you want to fucking do, we got you.
Check in, Indiana.
Check in. Oh, okay. Yeah. We talked some shit this week. You didn't really talk too much shit about Florida, though, this week.
Don't have to.
Too many things to talk about.
I let them come to me. They announce themselves and then I address it.
Yeah. So, all right. So there is one thing that we did this week, and that's me, Will, and Courtney. I wrote a song recently about how much snowboarding sucks, and it's not because snowboarding sucks, just how much I suck at snowboarding, but... Either way, I talk a lot of shit, and we recorded it for Santa Barbara Music Scene, the three of us doing it. And that's going to be coming out on the Buddy Show. I don't know exactly what they're calling it, but as soon as that comes out, we're going to post that as well. And then hopefully we'll get Buddy. He's a puppet, and hopefully we'll get him in on our show, too, and we can cross-pollinate a little bit. But we'll definitely make sure.
That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah. And I haven't even shown you the video yet of it.
Oh, really?
I did it.
You did the video?
I did the video, and I'll be interviewing with them this week. So that's not going to matter for this podcast because it should be out. It'll be out. So there we go. I did have a clip that I wanted to play before we go. Something I thought was a little wild. Hopefully this will just work here and you guys can weigh in.
A judge in Florida is contemplating a big decision on a request made by a murder defendant's attorney. Richard Patterson is charged with second-degree murder in the choking death of his girlfriend. But the defense claims Francisca Martinez's death was an accident and that she was accidentally choked during oral sex. To prove it, Patterson's attorney wants the judge to allow the defendant to stand up in the courtroom and face the jury and open up his bathrobe, take his clothes off, whatever, to expose himself to the jury.
I'm asking the court for a jury view of my client's genitalia. This may become an issue for jurors during the course of this case based on the medical expert testimony from Dr. Wright. I believe it's pertinent. I believe it's relevant. If there would be any other instrumentality and any other type of
you can't have a doctor just
allegation
measure it.
That item would be in fact shown to the jury.
You should see this.
Though against the motion, prosecutors don't necessarily object to Patterson giving the jury a view, if you know what I mean. They just want to know.
We know what you mean, lady. Okay, I'm gonna stop it right there.
Hold on. What news station was that from?
We'll post it. It was like, it's all over the place.
It was in Florida.
Yeah.
It was in Florida.
It was?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
my.
So, this guy choked his girlfriend to death with his dick because it was so big, and he didn't realize that she had passed out and died, and he got scared, and he left. He split. People found her later.
So it was in the library with the pipe?
I read you.
Oh, clue. Got it.
A pipe.
Thanks, Will.
Yeah. So, I don't know. He did it. I mean, how do you not know? How does a lady not start biting or hitting or whatever?
Well, so that, that's what they were saying. Like, you have to have such a big dick in order to completely clog her up to where she can't breathe. And so he's like, I'm telling you, it's big, and he looks like Trump a little bit. This guy, and you're like, there's no way he has that big of a hog. However, this week he was found not guilty of murdering her because his cock was so big she choked on it and died.
No,
I swear to God, we will post all these links after this.
But you bite the dick or you punch the dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, when your big brother put a pillow over your head, right? And you thought you were going to suffocate, so you freaked the fuck out, right?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. You think she'd be clawing and hitting?
So
apparently not. She just took it. She was a good woman.
Wow.
She just sat there and did her duty, and then
moving along.
Hell of a woman.
Hell of a woman.
Oh, I like what you did there.
Okay. So there was that. I mean, that's pretty much it for this week. We got a little serious this week.
No, not there.
Not right there.
Oh, you mean earlier? Yeah.
Earlier,
okay.
yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Like, this is mostly about music and trying to be funny and just bringing a little, joy to everyone each week. We enjoy it so much. But sometimes shit happens, right, Court?
Yeah.
And you teared up a little bit as you were speaking earlier.
I know.
Did you want to say anything about that right now, or are you gonna cry again?
I feel stupid that I did because it's not about me. It's about the people who are getting hurt right now, and that's what I want to focus on. And I would love everybody to focus on seeing and hearing their voice and what they're saying right now. The African American and people of color. It is very important that you listen to their voice.
Yep. And what we're gonna do is at the end of this, when it's all said and done, we'll get some links out to everyone. There's some places where you can donate some money to the people that are arrested if you want to, just places to get some information, all that kind of stuff. And I want everyone this week and next week and whenever just to stay safe out there, man.
Yes.
It's okay. We all are pissed off about this.
Yes.
It's not okay what's happening. Our voices need to be heard.
Yes.
And, we need to back up our black brothers and sisters and just,
back up.
Back them up, man.
Yeah.
Back them up. Walk in front of them at the protest. Whatever you have to do. Little things matter and count.
Learn about your privilege. Learn about the things.
The sheriff's standing up saying, like, let's make this a parade. This is not okay. Things like that. Let's try to do that and focus on the good if we can.
And even further down the line, remember when you're voting.
That is correct.
Absolutely. That's the way to get change, even though it seems a little crazy, even in that vein right now these days. So
yeah. Yeah.
All right, well, let's wrap this thing up, you guys.
Okay.
All right, well, let's wrap this thing up, you guys. All right, well, let's wrap this thing up, you guys. All right, well, let's wrap this thing up, you guys. All right, well, let's wrap this thing up, you guys. All right, well, let's wrap this thing up, you guys. All right, well, let's wrap this thing up, you guys. All right, well, let's wrap this thing up, you guys. All right, well, let's wrap this thing up, you guys. All right, well, let's wrap this thing up, you guys. All right, well, let's wrap this thing up, you guys. All right, well, let's wrap this thing up, you guys. All right, well, let's wrap this thing up, you guys. All right, well, let's wrap this thing up, you guys. All right, well, let's wrap this thing up, you guys. All right, well, let's wrap this thing up, you guys. All right, well, let's wrap this thing up, you guys. All right, well, let's wrap this thing up, you guys. All right, thank you everyone for listening this week. I know you have a lot of options. We really appreciate you picking us. Where Sounds Like Nonsense. Next week we'll be coming back. We have Mitch McSteamy from San Diego. He has done a lot of interviews with a lot of bands. I know it's going to be a fun one. He's got a band, Fishing for Chips. We've known him for a long time. But who else did we have on this week, Courtney?
We had Slow Children, Mind of My Own, and we had Last Point, Redeemer, as well as Hit the Switch. What is the name of that song again?
The song is North Star, and the album is Entropic. It's their newest one, but I say check out their whole catalog.
Yes, for sure.
It's really great.
All of the bands from today.
It was cool that AJ came on and talked to us a little bit.
That was amazing.
that was
I like
rad.
that.
And then down the line, we got some adolescence and skateboarding talk. Maybe we're going to stretch
That will
out
be
our
fun.
interview. We got some people coming in studio for the first time. Let's give out the phone number real quick, Courtney, if you can.
It is 805-697-7070.
Yep, and so leave us all of your voicemails, anything you want. Give us your favorite joke, paranormal, etc. Anything, last thoughts, quickly.
I just make sure you find out how big a dick is before you put him in your mouth.
Okay, and we didn't talk about slowly, and I guess we will next week. So.
All right, talk to you later.
Okay, guys. We'll see you later, Jeff.
Oh, see ya.
Okay, late.